What's up, everybody? This is RL, here to bring you another episode 3 of Bullshit, where we tell it like it is, not how it wants to be told. We expose everything, and this time I decided to go, from a different approach from my first two videos, and I decided to speak on, and I'm choosing to speak on a game actually that had came out like just last week, and you can tell by the picture I have up here. It's StreetFighter X Tekken for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 and the PlayStation Vita. Now, for this particular episode, I'm gonna be speaking about the Xbox Live and the PS3 versions of the game. Now, for those who haven't heard yet, it was a hacked downloadable content package somewhere on the internet that's been roaming around. And basically what that content does is that it allows you to access the locked characters that was on the disc, which was planned for release by Capcom as some downloadable content in April, I believe. And somebody hacked their system to unlock the characters that were locked on the disc, and they put it up on the internet for other people, to my knowledge. And that person has been used. Well, that person has used. From what I know, they have used 2 of those downloadable characters that they hacked online, and it's been some issues. It got some people feel like, oh man, these people should get banned from Xbox Live and the PlayStation Network, and like they should get banned from playing online and things like that, and rightfully so. But here's the thing. First off, it's like this. Capcom, let me say this first. Downloadable content has always and should have always been about expansion. Downloadable content should never be about unlocking content that is already on the disc that the consumer already paid for. It should always be some extra data that you can save onto your disc that comes with the not on the disc but on the system, that you can still play on the disc. Downloadable content has always been meant for expanding the system, of the game, not to unlock something that's already been placed on there. I should not have to pay extra money to have access to something that I already paid money for. If I go to the store and I paid for and I paid a retail price for your product, or in this case your video game, there should not be some downloadable content that's coming, soon, that allows me to have access to the rest of what's already on the disc. That's stupid. And this has been the case in recent years. It happened with Street Fighter 4. It happened with Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It happened with Mortal Kombat. It's this reoccurring nightmare that these companies are trying to milk extra money, extra unnecessary money at that, from the consumer. It's a cheap cash in, and it's a blatant scam. And I said it, a few times before already. Why should I have to pay for some downloadable content to access something that I already paid for? And up in the case of this game right here, StreetFighter X Tekken, the characters are already on the disc. So basically, you're telling me you're going to charge me the retail price for this game, and I'm not able to get my full value out of it. Instead, you want me to pay more money so I can already have access to what I already paid for? Bullshit. Bullshit. It's a blatant scam. Now, in the case of this hack DLC that's going around on the internet or whatever, those guys, they took, well, if those guys end up getting banned off of off of Xbox Live, and a PlayStation Network, if those guys get banned from, playing online, that's their own fault. Because common sense should have told them that, one, these characters haven't been released yet, haven't been officially released yet. So if you were going to hack the game disc, and unlock these locked characters, you should have known not to take them online. It's idiocy at its finest. You do something that you know you're going to get into trouble, but you have a chance at not, getting into trouble by just holding it to yourself. Instead, you put yourself in a position to purposely, get snitched on. How stupid can you be? It would have been one thing if you would have just unlocked the characters and just sat back and just waited until, the characters were officially released to the public, and then you started playing with them online. But no, you wanted to be, the happy-go-joy and just rush on. You wasn't thinking. So if you get banned from Xbox Live and PlayStation Network, if you get banned from playing online, that's your own ass. That's your own stupidity. Common sense should have told you better. And, that's just it. That's what it is. Now, in terms of them actually hacking into the disc, I gotta be honest with you. I kind of support that. I kind of support that because, as I stated earlier, you're not about to charge me. Like, it's one thing if this content wasn't on the disc. The fact of the matter is that this content is already locked on the disc. It's hidden. That way, the consumer, the person that bought the game at retail price, they can't even access it. Instead of giving them, what they paid for, pretty much, they paid for them, it's on the disc, they should have access to it. Instead of giving them what they paid for, no, let's charge them extra money. Regardless, period. It's just the principle of it. I already paid for this stuff, so why the hell am I paying more money for something that I already paid for? It's a blatant scam. It would have been one thing if that content wasn't on the disc and you're adding, some data to the game system for download that I could use on the disc. It'll be one thing if you were offering these characters as an expansion to the game. But no, they're already on there. So basically, I'm paying for something that I already own. And if that doesn't sound stupid, then I don't know what is. I already own the disc. The characters are on the disc, but I can't access them. Instead, I gotta pay more money to access what I already have. It's a cheap cash-in, and it's been a reoccurring nightmare. And this is the reason why I haven't bought fighting games in recent years. Like I just go over at a friend's house and play it. But fighting games, it's just blatant stupidity. First off, I didn't buy Street Fighter 4 because I already knew what Capcom had up their sleeve. I knew that they were going to announce some type of DLC, and I knew later on down the line, like, they were going to release a new retail game with the DLC characters on them already. The same thing happened with Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I just didn't know that it was going to come out so early. Like, just months later, they came out with Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And when the original Marvel vs. Capcom 3 came out, they, like, had announced previously, like, right then and there, hey, we got 2 characters that are for download. So, yeah. But before the game is even released, you're telling me that I'm going to have to spend more money just to get the characters that I already paid for. Fuck you. That's as simple as I can fit it. Fuck you. Once I seen that, I didn't even worry with it. I mean, granted that Jill and Shumagura are still, they are still some downloadable characters, but the fact of the matter is, they came out with Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, just months later, which was way too soon for another release in that same series. But that's already been said. And the same thing happened with Mortal Kombat 9. They came out with all the DLC characters, like Freddy Krueger and such. And now, just, not too long ago, like sometime around, like, last month, I believe, they came out with the Mortal Kombat, complete edition, which came with all the with all the downloadable characters on there, all of the costumes and everything. So, and mind you, if I'm not mistaken, it's for a cheaper price. If I'm not mistaken. But if it is for a cheaper price, all the people that had paid for Mortal Kombat 9 originally, and then they had to go download all the characters, they basically got ripped off. And that's the exact same way I feel about all the fighting games in recent years, including this. So, fuck you, Capcom. I want to play Tekken. I want to play Street Fighter X Tekken, but I know your ass is up to something. So, I'm going to wait later on down the line when you release the game with all the downloadable characters on them already. So, yeah, like, you're not getting me in this little money scam. And I hope they don't get y'all either. Which I know that isn't going to happen because people want those characters, though. But still, it's pretty fucked up. Bullshit. See you guys next time. Peace.